Greetings, friends. Your cartoonist pal Stan here with another episode of Random Encounters. Almost forgot what show this was. Random Encounters is a show that I use random encounter tables, like the kind you find in tabletop role playing games, such as Dungeons and Dragons, and I use them together with an electronic die roller to create improvisational cartoon prompts. Take a random encounter table of who's characters, creatures, other things that you might find in fiction or in games, and what's situations, places, activities, and then I smash them together and I draw them in cartoon form for you guys while you're watching. And we chat about it. I talk about the things I think about when I'm drawing. I give little drawing tips. I talk about the creative process, and we hang out and have a good time. That's what the show is. Hello, Michael Pastor. Thank you for joining, and happy Boxing Day to you. Yeah, last week I said that I probably was not going to be live this week because, holidays and all. But I'm not doing anything else. Right, I'm sitting around here. In fact, I was doing work this afternoon, so as long as I'm doing work, I may as well have fun. I may as well do the stuff that I enjoy. And I enjoyed this show. It's all about the fact that drawing is fun. It's fun for me. It's probably fun for you when you were a little kid. It might even be fun for you now. And if it's not, it could be if you just kind of relax and get into the drawing. So I invite you to grab your favorite drawing implement, your favorite pen or pencil, your favorite electronic drawing apparatus. I'm using an iPad Pro and an Apple Pencil. These are the things I use in my professional career, and they're things I use most of the time when I'm doing any kind of drawing. This show is not sponsored in any way, but I give those details all the same because people seem to want to know. I also use the app Procreate. Again, show not sponsored in any way, but all of those companies. It's a new year coming up. Maybe you want to bring me on board. I'm happy. I will be happy to talk sponsorship. Also, as I was mentioning in the show I was recording earlier, Diet Coke, Coca-Cola Company, Coke Zero Sugar. That's my drink of choice. That's what you'll see me drinking during the show. Look at all these sponsorship possibilities just floating out there, not happening. Michael says he's working on a story himself. Now going to work on pictures with you. All right, sweet. I'm glad to hear that you are having a creative day, creative end of year holiday. Sponsors, please buy Stand a Powerful Computer. No, computer would be good. First thing I'm looking for actually right now. I love my iPad. It is several generations out of date, and the next big purchase I'm probably going to be making, finding a way to find the budget for, is a newer iPad, because they've also updated the Apple Pencil with some interesting new tech. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm still with you. Sponsorship, sponsor that. Sponsor getting me cool stuff. I'll talk about you. Clearly, I'll talk about you on air and promote you. Give me a call. All right, that's enough of that. Let us come over here, and I will switch the view so you can see these are our encounter tables. The last of the holiday, Christmas, and Hanukkah themed stuff we'll do. By the time we're back next week, it'll be 2025, and I'll be on to New Year's stuff. So this is the last time until next winter, next November and December, that we'll see these things on the list. Probably, I don't know, maybe little Christmas in July, Santa showing up in July, never beyond the question. But it's not a natural draw. Get it? Draw? I crack myself up. All right, here we go. Let's come over here and we will go to our die roller and we're going to roll us up a who and we're going to roll us up a what and we're going to get going. So here we go. Once and twice a third time, our first who is 3. And once and twice and third time, our first what is 4. So let's come back to the settings here. We say 3 is a Lizardfolk and 4 is Mall Santa. So Lizardfolk and Mall Santa is our combination that we're working with here. Let me see here. Pardon me, I did not get set up. 6 o'clock came and took me by surprise. So we're going to turn off the inserted image there. We're going to come into our sketch level. I like to sketch in blue. Pardon me. But I'm going to mute myself for a second. There you go. You didn't really want to hear that. And we're going to draw lizards. Now, it could be the Lizardfolk is Santa or the Lizardfolk is visiting Santa. It's a mall Santa. I think we're going to have the Lizardfolk be Santa. So let's zoom in a bit here and do some quick sketching. I want to have a lizard. Lizard's got a long body like this with lizardy feet. It's going to have a beard. Let's see. I've done a couple of drawings of mall Santa things this year. I do the drawings that play during the countdown, like the promo thumbnail drawings. Last week, I had a promo thumbnail drawing of me sitting on Santa's lap. I'll show you that. Maybe I'll show you that between drawings here. I have a little kid on Santa's lap. I've got some ideas for what's going on here. I don't want to necessarily say out loud, so they'll be funnier when I'm drawing them. So that's going to be about that. Let's grab this and blow it up a bit so it fills the page a little better. And we're going to draw a lizard man mall Santa. So I'm going to go to the lines layer now that I've done a sketch. My, what a big nose you have, Santa. Yeah, that certainly is. If we're going to come for the kid's perspective, that for sure is a good line for that kid to have. Okay. I say start with lines you're confident in. Maybe it's time for me to explain that. I haven't in a few weeks. When you're drawing, you're going to do a sketch anyway, and when you're inking, you should start with a line you're confident in, because there's every chance you'll make mistakes along the way, but you don't want to have to. You want to have to erase as little as possible. If you have to, when you put a line in, if you have to change it, it will it may affect any of the other lines around it. And if it turns out that it affects all the lines around it, you basically just got to start again. So you want to put in lines you're confident in so you can build the other lines and be confident in them. Go. And I'm going to want to put some kind of hooded eyes on our Lizardfolk there. Zoom out a little so you can see more what I'm drawing. But I like to zoom in some because it allows me to get better details. But when I zoom in too much and you can't see, if I'm zoomed in too tight, you're not getting an idea of what I'm doing in any context. So I'm going to zoom out a bit so you get some context. And our Santa here has a Santa hat. Hello, Patrick DeLeese. Thank you for joining North Pole. No kid, I live in Albuquerque. Guess I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque. Albuquerque. How are you doing tonight, Patrick? Hope you're doing well. All right, now let's switch over to our kid, who is just stunned. I'm trying to give him a kind of a pursed mouth look. Go. That's looking pretty good. Our kid is not at all pleased, and who would be? Mall Santas are scary anyway, in the best of times. But, you know, when he's. Didn't pencil in the tail. I intended to, but it didn't. Now, for folks trying to do this kind of thing at home, I would recommend. Notice that a lot of what I do is very sketchy, and I'm putting finished pencils and taking out the sketch lines. I wouldn't worry about that for what you're doing. In fact, you probably should be working in a sketchbook or a notebook, and it's okay. My notebook drawings all have all of the underdrawing still part of them. In fact, it's sometimes the best part. I often, when I come back to a drawing, I'll find something in the underdrawing that I had forgotten about or hadn't intended, and either it will become what I focus on in my finished drawing, or it'll become a separate drawing in its own right. But here, for the magic of this show, and I say magic in self deprecating air quotes, the magic of this show, uh, I want these to look more like finished drawings than they really have any right to be. So I erase that stuff out of there. There we go. It's actually not looking half bad. And then take out that sketch layer, what I was talking about before, and we've got ourselves a pretty good basic line drawing. He said, unsure of himself. Pretty good. Meh. Yeah. And we're going to have him saying, so, what do you want for Christmas? Little Timmy. Now, I'm playing around with the eyes a little here. It feels like there's something more that could be done there, but I don't think that it's worth digging into at this point. Again, it's supposed to be a quick drawing. Let's see. I want to add a little bit of hints of scales on the areas where we can see the skin of our lizard folk. And yeah, there we go. Let's go to the colors section, and I'm gonna grab my gloaming brush. Pardon me while I take a little sip here. The gloaming brush allows me to do this crayon-y / markery style, which lets me do this shape within a shape kind of coloring. Our lizard folk. Well, just trying to decide between a green versus brown lizard. Do a lot of green stuff here. I'm not quite sure why. But when I think about it, brown. I know this is sometimes you discover the things you think inadvertently. Like I think that a lizard folk just seem more green to me, and if it was brown, that would be more like a troglodyte, which is another kind of lizard folk, but it's a specific kind of lizard folk. And in my head, that's just how the colors work. In your head, it can work completely different. And I hope it does. Alright, so let's put some dark green on where the claws are. And some lighter green on the undertail. Oh, needs to be lighter than that. Needs to be clearly lighter and different than the main, the color on the main skin. And then we're going to grab some red because Mall Santa. Let's say I'm going to pick the arm shape to do as one shape, and then this top of the chest around to the back over here is another shape. One leg and the other leg. I mean, I could have done them as one, but again, just having that little separation helps to give hints of shape and texture. Let me come back here to the lines as I look at this. And I want that, I want the beard here to look like it's hanging off here, but with the chin coming over it, it's not giving the look I want. So I'm going to come back in. Again, things, as I change one thing, I'm now going to have to change the smile a little because it was going to overrun the beard. There we go. These don't make a whole lot of difference, but one of the things about drawing is small, and I often talk about this, how small differences can really add up very quickly when they hint at things in your viewer's mind. You don't have to put lots of details in, because if you put the right emphasis or the right clarity on it, your viewer in their own brain is going to fill in details. And then we're going to need some colors for the chair. Is that too dark? Is that too dark? All right, why do I think that's too dark? And it is. Because the eye gets very drawn to the darkest spots. And by putting that there, I'm going to put on a new layer for a second so I can draw on here. By putting that on there, if I grab, what's a good color here for this? Be the blue, right? When I look in here, these are now the strongest visual cues, and they're weird shapes. They're not what we want people to pay attention to. We want people to pay attention to here, and maybe here, the claw, but not those things. So I don't want those colors. So let's back out of that. That is too dark, is really all I'm saying. So we're going to come back. I do like that rough color, so we'll go with a lighter version of that. There. And now it doesn't dominate the area so much. And we can use it as our color for the chair. In fact, my only problem now is it's too similar to the color I picked for the tongue. But I think the answer to that will be to change the tongue. So let's come back there. We'll change the tongue. You know what? Let's erase that, and then when I'm working here digitally, I can put one color on top of another, and usually they'll just cancel each other out. But not completely, not always. Particularly with the gloaming brush, which is a little bit see-through. Let's see here. Poor Timmy. He's having a rough day. And I'm going to use a little bit of blue, light blue here, to put highlights on the white cuffs and the beard. I'm going to come back and put a little bit of dark, shadowy shading on the Santa suit. Like so. And I suppose that means we really probably should put some on the exposed lizard flesh. There's a term I don't really have to say aloud again. There we go. I can come back and go to the lines layer and put a little stand down here in the corner, because we have a lizard man mauled Santa as our first drawing of the evening. All right, let's see. God, you guys have been chatting. That's awesome. Green for green and red. Yeah, that works too. Lizardfolk are definitely green to. Okay, so I'm glad we have this understanding. Lizardfolk are green. Troglodytes are brown. Maybe lizards are more lizards versus reptiles. I don't know. Now I'm starting to make things up. CBS Sunday Morning had a spotlight on Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus School for mall Santas. Wow. You know what? I didn't see that on CBS Sunday Morning, but I heard a radio piece about that. Classes for interacting. That's awesome. It's awesome that a thing like that exists. That there is a school for being a good mall Santa, because it's such it's such a fun thing when it's done well, and it's such a horrible stereotype when it's done badly. Ours, of course, funny because it's done badly. Okay, Lizard Mall Santa is done. We're going to turn off that. Turn on round 2. Come back. Reset all the stuff. And then we'll do it one more time. There we go. Lizard Mall Santa achieved. Let's go back to the dice and see what we get for our second improv prompt. Randomized prompt. Okay, so once, twice, and third time. Fourth time, 6. 6 is our next who. And once and twice, a third time. Fourth time, 3. 3 is our next what. come back here. So it's going to be 6 is adventurer, and 3 is lighting the menorah. All right, so we've got a little Christmas and we got a little Hanukkah. I don't know how much this ever comes up. I come from a mixed family. Grew up in a mixed family. My mom's side of the family was of the Christmas variety. My our family and my dad's side of the family of the Hanukkah variety, and we all celebrated both, everything. Celebrated a lot of stuff, and so I'm glad that we're going to get both a little Christmas and a little Hanukkah here in tonight's drawing. Hello, Linnea. Hello, Chris Andrew. Glad both of you could make it tonight. We're going to come back, and we've got an adventurer lighting the menorah. And I think that I know. I think I know exactly what I want to do. Uh, and I think what I want to do right now is get rid of that big old circular noggin. Now here again, the um, the thing I'm looking for right now is to uh, get the posture. Right, you could very easily just draw a character up and down, but I want this character to move. So already you see I've got his spine kind of curved so we can get an actiony pose. I'm trying to decide what the a kind of bow-legged pose works for that kind. You want some kind of bounce in this kind of pose. So I want. I was trying to play around with other possible positioning. We want one hand out that way. Maybe here we're going to have a wizard's staff. I already decided that first bow-legged thing is not working, but if I put this foot out a little further, so we now got a one back and one out like that, that's working a little better for me. The feet are a little clown shoe big. Now, the question I'm coming at right now in my head is, do I want this to be a human? Do I want it to be an elf? Do I want it to be something else? Maybe an elf. With a yarmulke on, of course. And over here, now this is where things are going to get a little strange because I've got the right now this point is going across that way, so I'm going to have to move the arm. So I want it to point there. I'm going to have a be lighting the Hanukkah candles. Now, what is going to be going on here? There we go. Now, if I grab this and move it a little to the right, that gives me a little extra room for making the staff a bit longer. Okay. I find this amusing already. Let's go to the lines layer and start drawing. What do I feel confident in? What do I feel confident in? I think I'm going to have to start here with this hand. We've already proven it. That is a very important point in this drawing. So it's got to be, that's got to work. Give him a talus that he's wearing. And let's zoom in here. And it's coming together pretty good. Our rabbi was never quite this hip, but you know. Want that to line up just a little better. Now, I want this to look, I want this to read well. It's going to be very small, so I've got to make sure that it's clear. This corner here needs to read a little bigger. There we go. Even at a small size, that'll now read right. Good. And then we're going to come over here and start to put in the Menorah. candles in. Do I want to draw this in black and white or draw? Yeah, I've done a couple of drawings recently where I've put the fire in, done the lines in red, and that works pretty well. But I don't think that's really necessary here. Menorahs. I find I've done a lot of drawings over the years, trying to make fancy versions of menorahs. Like sometimes we've got the candelabra in is a thing you see a lot in particularly in creepy situations in D&D drawings. Trying to come up with a candelabra that feels like like it's both a D&D style or candelabra and a menorah, a functional menorah for the purposes of a Hanukkah joke. There we go. Let's turn the lines, the sketch off, and see what that looks like. Okay. Not enough feeling. There we go. Need it to really be clear that he's casting that spell. And he's going to be saying Baruch Etah, E-T-A-H. God, I gotta look this up. It's been too long since I've since I've read it. Oh dear God. Hanukkah Menorah prayer. Let's see. Atah, A-T-A-H. Baruch Atah Adonai. That's enough of it. Those who know, and those who don't know won't appreciate me going on and on with transliterated Hebrew. Baruch Atah Adonai. Alright, let's just add a few more lines on here to make this pop a little better. The yarmulke should come back a little further. But basically, I think that's looking pretty good. Basically. I'm just checking it out. I'm looking to make sure. All right, so let's go and quickly add some color onto this. This one came together very, very quickly. Did you all have a good Christmas or first night of Hanukkah, or second night of Hanukkah now? Anyone get any cool presents? Or did you give any good presents that you want to brag on? I didn't get my holiday cards out until Monday of this past week. So I believe that almost none of them arrived prior to yesterday. But that's all right. They're more New Year's, uh, more of a New Year's gag than a Christmas or a Hanukkah gag. I was talking with some friends. A lot of people, uh, you know, holiday cards are a big stressor for a lot of people because it's hard to get them out in a busy time of year, and people feel like they have to. I don't. You know what? I like doing them. I didn't for a very very long time in my life. It was just not anything I did. Even as I was doing, cartooning and artwork professionally, I just never. Uh, I didn't do them, and it's only in the last dozen or 15 years that I have, and it's only in the last 6 or 7 years since I discovered uh, printing stickers that I found that I felt very good about sending people a card with a piece of art that I did, and then in each one I put a little sticker. And you may have seen these on my account or different places. Each year I do a sticker with the Lunar New Year animal of the coming year. Usually, let's see, I have an example from one from a couple of years ago. Usually, I have me dressed up in a costume of the animal. So this was the year of the rabbit. I'm wearing a rabbit outfit. Um, I tried a bunch of designs of me in a snake outfit, and they all looked either it wasn't clear it was a snake, or it looked really creepy, or sometimes even pervy. Um, and so I decided this year that I would be wearing the snake, or the snake would be wearing me, and that would be it. That's what the this year's uh, Lunar New Year cards stickers that are going out in my card. So people who are on my card list should be receiving those in the next couple of days. They should mostly arrive by the new year. The interesting thing is this year I printed a lot um, of extra stickers. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna. Well, I guess I also have started doing a thing called uh, stickersbystan.com. In fact, you can go there right now if you want while I'm drawing. Stickersbystan.com, and I think that I'm going to make the. In fact, I can even take the think out of it. I've thought it through. I'm going to make the uh, Year of the Snake stickers available for purchase. So if you like those and you want one, that's where you can get one. And other stickers that I've done. Right now, if you go over there, it's all full of the holiday stickers, which are still available if you want them. There we go. That's looking good. I think that we got it here. This is such fine detail. I don't think that shading is really going to help it in because everything's done so loosely. Sometimes that kind of detail can actually be detrimental. But here we go. We got an adventurer lighting the Hanukkah candles. Oh, what I did not do is put my name on it, which I absolutely do want to do. Baruch atah Adonai. I suppose I could put a whoosh underneath that. It could be Baruch atah Adonai whoosh. But I really don't think that's helpful to this gag. There we go. Adventurer lighting the Hanukkah candles. Michael says, definitely one of my. Thank you very much. The star on the staff is great. Yeah, I think it's interesting for the purposes of this show. It's interesting to note how much care I took to get the right amount. You just want it to be enough so that it reads clearly, right? If you zoom in close, that's not a perfect star, David. That lower right probably could be a little better. It's not closed off, but you make sure enough of it reads, and it really helps sell the joke. Stickers with the calendar were oh yes. So those of you who ordered my calendar through the Kickstarter, that came with some stickers too, as a bonus. I like making stickers. I'm hoping in 2025, in the new year, I hope I figure a way to get this stickers by Stan thing to start gaining a little traction, which probably, sadly, is going to mean my having to spend some money to promote it with ads, which I don't love the idea of. But given the way social media is throttling everything, I won't spend a lot, but get it out there. And I have to have a regular update of new stickers every week or two. There we go. We still got one more drawing to do. I almost forgot. This is not the end. We got another cartoon to do that's worth celebrating with a drink of Diet Coke. Sorry, Coke Zero Sugar. There's a difference, you know. If you know, you know. Chris, I was just catching up on what's going here, and Chris Andrew says it takes a much lower spell slot than lighting Grandma Morty's 90th birthday cake. Got to be a little more specific with 90. You got to have a broader array, and you don't want to set the cake on fire. You guys have any New Year's plans? We got just 6 days left in 2024, which is so hard for me to believe. I was posting on my Facebook the other day that 2024 has not been an awesome year by any stretch, but I need another week of it. I got too many things that I'm supposed to get done by the end of the year. I need an extra week of this crappy little year. Okay, one more time. Oh, no. I like to. So one of the reasons I do this pause before I fly into the next one is that on YouTube, when I'm done, I go back in and I put in chapter breaks, and I want a clear break from the end of one drawing into the start of a second one or a third one. And the best way to do that is to give myself a pause before I drive forward. So let's do that again, shall we? Who's with me? Let's put it in the chat. Who's with me? Here we go. two down. We've had our Lizardfolk Mall Santa. We had an adventurer lighting the menorah. Let's do one more, and then we can call it a year. That'll be it. That'll be the end of random encounters for the year. What's it? What have we done before? I just rolled a 6, a 4, and a 3. What we haven't done a 4 is a necromancer. Let's go back and do that again. Roll it once, twice, a third time, and we get a 6. We already had a 6. We get a 3. We already had a 3. Get another. These dice, like the 3s and the 6. 1. You know what? I think this means that I'm going to come to you guys in a minute for help in figuring this one out. But right now, we're leaning on a 1. And once, twice, and third time, and a 6 for the, what? So that might be a Thri-Kreen Skiing, but I'm going to leave it open for you guys to pitch me some ideas. Otherwise, Thri-Kreen Skiing is good. Thri-Kreen, for those of you who don't know, are a mantis-like insectoid creature from Dungeons and Dragons, most notably from the Dark Sun setting, but Thri-Kreen are all over the place these days. Thri-Kreen Skiing is one possibility. What else might you guys want to see me draw? Next week, I'm going to be drawing stuff that's New Year's Eve related, because we'll be coming in here on the 2nd, is it, right? It'll be the 2nd of January. But if you have an idea now that's New Year's related, I can do that too. We got here Baby New Year. Yeah, that's Baby New Year definitely going to be on the Who side, I think, or it might be a creature. The Baby New Year might be a what, right? It could be an Umber Hulk Baby New Year. That's confusing. Skiing feels nice for the end of the year. Okay, all right. Thri-Kreen Skiing it is. Thri-Kreen Skiing. Enunciate clearly, Stephen. Stephen, actually, my real name, for those of you who don't know. Stan is not my real name. It's my pen name. And it's not a secret because I published as Stephen for a number of years. But one of the interesting things that in my life is when I talk to myself. I do still call myself Stephen. Particularly when I'm mad at myself for do this. It's like when your mother uses your middle name. If I start calling myself my real name, that means that I'm a little ticked off with myself. All right, so we got Thri-Kreen Skiing. So Thri-Kreen have two. Let me zoom in here. They're erect. They've got insectoid bodies, but they've generally drawn with 2 legs and 4 arms, and then a mantis-like head with antenna. So that's the basic body shape we've got. Let's clear that out of there. So we're going to want a Thri-Kreen Skiing. I'm getting a right to left feel for this, so that's where we're going to do it. Now, again, posture's important. So I've already got him kind of leaning backwards, doubled back. You know what? Here, we're going to have him out of control. He's going to be up just on one. He's going to be off balance. we'll give him multiple. We'll have him 4 ski poles because he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's way out of. Off balance. There we go. Oh, I'm liking this as a general start. I think I want to make this a little smaller on the page, and we can have him swooshing down the hill. All right, that seems like a good start. So we will come here. We'll go to the lines layer so we're not drawing over our sketch. And now I got to figure out what the important thing here is. Most important segment. I think. Here we go. Now, some of this is definitely going to be erased, but that's our starting section. Yeah, there we go. And now we're going to be erasing lots of stuff as we add on. Going to add little details here to make it seem more insectoid, like the little what's the spike kind of detail on his arm. And I'm going to make sure I do that on all of the arms. I suppose, if you're a Thri-Kreen, you're a desert creature. Skiing is not going to be your best thing. Now here, it's weird to say, right? Maybe I should have drawn this arm that comes in front first, but I'm more comfortable putting it in last and erasing as necessary to make it feel right. Go. And then the final arm down here. What did I not do? What did I not do? I did not give the little spiky bits on this arm like I said I was going to do on all of them. Just realizing that given how he's gripping it, this last one should point backwards like that. There we go. He certainly does look off balance. And then we're going to have his antennae flowing backwards like that. One more time on that. That's looking all right. A little tricky to draw the details in action because some of it should be a little bent for movement, some of it's going to be covered by the snow. Add some motion lines again to emphasize the whole out of controlness of what's going on. It's looking pretty good, I think, anyway. I suppose I should mention here, those of you that like this show, like anyone that showed up tonight, tomorrow night, at about this same time, about 7 p.m. Pacific, I believe, I'm going to be a guest on my friend Lala's show. Lala will sometimes show up here in the chat. Lala is from the Philippines and she has a crafting channel. And during December, every year, she does a thing called Merry Vlogmas video log. And she does a live stream every day in December. And she has invited me to be a guest on her show tomorrow night. And I will be there and we'll be doing some kind of drawing like this, some kind of surprise topic drawing. And I think part of it will be me helping to talk Lala through drawing because she's very insecure about that and trying to teach her the wonders of just kind of, you know, what we talk about here in the drawing loosely, working with rough shapes, putting some sketches in, and letting it be an imperfect drawing that, you know, often will surprise you by how successful it turns out, how much other people enjoy what feels like an imperfect drawing to you. So we'll be doing that. The theme will certainly be something seasonal. but I don't know. It's her show, and I don't try to I want to be a good guest and give her as many details as she needs, but I also want to leave it open to her to make it feel like something that fits on her channel. So we'll be doing that tomorrow evening, the 27th of December, uh, at I believe 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you check on my social media, there should be a link to the show or to where the show is going to be. There we go. Let's take this sketch out of here and see what this looks like. Where could we use some extra cleanup lines? All right. I want to make sure that everything is as understandable as possible because this is very confusing, right? We've got a weird, uh, unusual body shape and 6 limbs. So adding a few little touches here and there to help draw the eye where we want it is helpful. All right, we got a Thri-Kreen Skiing. I think that Thri-Kreen actually skis a little better than I do. Okay, so let's go to the color layer. We'll grab our gloaming brush again, and here I am going to do a brown, yellowish brown as our base color. For the carapace. Looking good. I think the hands will also have that color. The thing you can do in just about any drawing is use your colors to help demark it. And I talked about this with armor all the time, where I will pick a three variant bluish gray shades and then use them specifically to denote the um, the texture or the hardness of the different sections of the armor. But whatever's over the chest is going to be hard and firm and inflexible, and then other parts which are like that, I'll use that color. And the part that covers the arm or the leg is going to be the most flexible, and anywhere else it has, I want to have that feeling, I'll use that. So I'm using a similar theory here with um, our Thri-Kreen. Decided I wanted the carapace to be that color, and then anything that I want to have the same rough texture or feeling or flexibility, I'm using that. The arms and legs, same thing. And of the antennas, underbelly. There we go, that's looking good. And then I'm going to use a more orangey brown for the handles of the ski poles. And the leather straps, probably like that's a belt. Then what else? What else? We want another blue-gray for the ski poles themselves. maybe a yellow, a palish yellow for the skis. I don't know. No. I think we're going to want a green or a blue. Maybe a green. Not much else is going to be green. You know that people who have skis, they're usually, red might also be a good color, but we'll stick with the green. No, I'm looking at it, and the green is not playing well with that brown, so let's take that green out entirely. I guess maybe we will go with a reddish color. Any of you out there skiers? What color are your skis? All right, and then I'm gonna go for a purplish, reddish purplish eyes. Now, the only green on here is going to be the trees in the background. And then we're going to go again with a even lighter than that. I was going to say a very light. And I'm doing that because it's the background. And as I said before, if it's too dark, it's going to draw attention to itself. I want it to be clear enough that it's there, but just fade into the background. And then I'm going to go with a clean blue. Lighter than that for the snow, including the cloud is whipping up behind him. There we go. Look at that. Now, this one, I think we could use some extra shading on. Oop. Left that brush too large there for a second. You see, I don't know if it was very clear what I just did there, but by adding, I'm going to zoom in and undo. So as I take away that shading I did on the face, look how the face is fine like that. But when I add in these spaces in what is the depth of what's supposed to be the farthest away space, it helps to give the whole face a sense of depth that we didn't do really anything to earn that. There aren't details there, but just that little splash of color really helps to sell the idea. And it puts the idea in your viewer's brain, and then it becomes reality. All right, and the eyes. I think the eyes are about it. We'll be done. There we go. I can come back here and confidently put a stand on this one because we have ourselves a Thri-Kreen Skiing. Let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Help, this ordeal is making me into a praying mantis. Go back to the Baruch Atah Adonai. That is one praying mantis. Buy two, get two skis free. Oh, yes. Make sure I put her screen name in the chat. I can't chat. I can't type into the chat. You know what I can do though? Here, let me just look something up here first. Go to here. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. But this will be helpful in the end. I'll just sing to you as I do it. All right. Her YouTube channel is right down here. Mommy Guide Inc. Mommy Guide Incorporated. Mommy Guide Inc. And that should be all one word. Let me just double check that. Yes. Mommy Guide Inc. is the name of her channel. And that is a channel I will be on tomorrow, December 27th at 7. She's on live right now. So I would say maybe after we're done here, we could pop over to her site. Lala is her name, and Mommy Guide Inc. is the name of her channel. Michael, you could type that into the chat there so other people could see it. That'd be terrific. But that is where, and there you've done it. You were in the middle of it before I even said that. It is her channel where I'm going to be a guest tomorrow night. And if you're not doing anything on your Friday night, you should join us over there for some fun crafting and cartooning all in one. So let me take a sip here, and then I'll do an outro, and we'll wrap this up and head on to the rest of our holiday weekend. It's been a fun holiday show here. We did a Thri-Kreen Skiing. We did an adventurer, in this case a wizard, lighting the menorah. And we did a Lizardfolk mall Santa. All in one magical hour and a half, hanging out and doing improv cartooning with you. So thank you all for joining me. Those of you who were here live, Michael Pastor and Chris Andrew and Linnea was here for a while, and Patrick DeLise was here for a while. I appreciate you all for showing up. Anyone who's watching this later, I definitely appreciate you too. Please leave me a comment below. That would be very helpful to me to know that you were here. Let me know what you think, what you maybe like to see in future shows. I'm happy to take suggestions. I'll only use the ones I like, but I'm happy to take any of them. I will be back next year. The next show will be on the 2nd of January, here in the same place, same time. We'll be doing more improv cartooning and having a good time, stepping forward into the future. Till then, I hope you all are doing well, but I hope you have a very Merry New Year. You had a happy Christmas, and a happy Hanukkah, and whatever else, happy solstice. Whatever it is you're celebrating this time of year, I hope you have a happy that. And if you're not celebrating, I hope you're just happy. So join me next week. I'm looking forward to it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you real soon.